Hi, my name is Brian Fitzgerald. I'm here in Wichita, Kansas, the air capital. You know, on a good day here in Wichita, you can see all types of aircraft, from B-1 bombers to F-16 fighters, Boeing 747s, Learjets, King Airs, Cessna Citations, you name it. All the heavy iron. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. No, this is about ultralight aviation. This video is an overview of the sport. We're going to talk about a lot of different things like safety, training, where to buy new and used airplanes, where to find ultralight parks, rules and regulations. We're also going to talk to a lot of pilots about their aircraft and what they like about it. Ultralight flying is not hard to trace. It's basically an outgrowth of the hang gliding movement that started in the 70s. First were the foot-launched machines, whose engines were primarily used for auxiliary lift. Soon after that, aircraft with larger engines and better controls and landing gear began to appear. Particularly in the open cockpit variety of ultralight, you're interacting with the environment in a very direct way. You can feel the air temperature rise when flying into a thermal, or feel the temperature drop as you fly downwind of a lake or river. The visibility is excellent. You can see all around. Because ultralights have a large wing area compared to their overall weight, which is called low wing loading, you feel every air current and turbulence. Now, to some people, even experienced pilots of bigger and heavier aircraft, this can be uncomfortable. Others fall in love with it immediately. It's just something you have to experience to understand. It's kind of like surfing in the air. Sometimes the air currents come in waves, similar to the feeling of sitting on the surface of the ocean. The difference is that we have 3 dimensions to move in, and the surfers only have 2. In response to the groundswell of homegrown aviation activity, the FAA announced in the early 1980s a new FAR, or Federal Air Regulation, called FAR Part 103. This is the regulation which pertains to ultralights. In recognition of the simplicity of our aircraft and the recreational nature of our flying, Part 103 is a less rigorous standard compared to the complex regulations required for the rest of the flying community. Still, many people, licensed pilots included, think ultralights are unregulated by the government, and this is false. Here are some of the high points of FAR 103's definition of an ultralight. First, an ultralight cannot weigh over 254 pounds. It is limited in level flight to a speed no faster than 55 knots, which is roughly 63 miles per hour, and has a stall speed of no more than 24 knots, about 28 miles per hour. An ultralight can carry only 5 gallons of fuel, is limited to carrying 1 person, and can fly only during daylight hours. Ultralight pilots are not required to have an annual flight physical. There are quite a few pages to FAR 103, and I'm only covering the high points here. If you want to fly ultralights, it's important to understand Part 103. You can obtain a copy of 103 from the FAA by calling or writing the regional office nearest you. They're in the phone book under Government Offices, United States Department of Transportation. Usually you find ultralights around small airports and air parks like this one here. Now, you don't find them at the big airports because that's controlled airspace, and the rules don't allow us to fly into controlled airspace without special permission. Another way to locate ultralight activity is to call the USUA or EAA club in your area, and I'll show you how to find them in a moment. The United States Ultralight Association, or USUA, publishes a monthly magazine called Ultralight Flying. It's an excellent source of information about all aspects of the sport. Every year, the April issue features a list of ultralight flight parks around the country. You can also ask pilots around just about any airport and somebody will know where ultralights are flying. Now, I just mentioned the USUA and the EAA. The United States Ultralight Association, or USUA, is based in Mount Airy, Maryland, near the nation's capital. They're the only national organization dedicated solely to the advancement of the sport. They've been given acknowledgement from the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, to provide a licensing program for ultralight pilots. They have a training system and licensed instructor pilots. The idea is for ultralighters to self-regulate rather than have the government spend its time and our tax money regulating us. There's also the EAA, or Experimental Aircraft Association, based in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. They have ultralight chapters around the nation and are recognized by the FAA for their ultralight pilot licensing and safety programs too.